Órale. 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 Polly here on a special edition of The Brown Side. We got 7 articles to go over. I hope everyone is doing great. If you're catching this on our video debut or on the replay, hey, Latino Slant is here for you, covering everything from mainstream pop culture to international and world cinema. It is the Latino Slant. My name is Polly. So, yeah, I hope everyone is doing great. And we have some fun stuff to go over. And let's just get right into it. I just got sent this this mock poster of Pedro Pascal as Eddie Guerrero, right? The wrestling champion. As you guys know, he was a professional wrestler. He passed away in 2005. God, just seems like the other day. And Eddie Guerrero dazzled audiences for many years, originally from El Paso. Now, that being said, could you see Pedro playing Eddie for La Raza? Could this be real or not? Now, I think it would be a great movie, but a lot of people don't agree that it should be Pedro Pascal. We got some comments here. If we check this out, Eddie was Mexican American, not Chilean like Pedro. Okay, I mean, that's easy. There's some harsher ones that I will not repeat here. Tony Dalton over Pedro Pascal for Eddie. It's not even close. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, 100% Tony Dalton is, first of all, he's from Laredo, Texas. He is a chameleon actor. Think of like your Eddie almost type of actor that can do anything. An Oscar Isaac, Mexican-American gentleman, performer. You've seen him in so many things, from Better Call Saul to Daredevil to White Lotus. I know Tony Dalton. All he's got to do is bulk up a little bit. Maybe get him now before he gets a little too viejo. He would be incredible. He would be incredible. That is a good call there on fan casting Tony Dalton. But let's see what else you guys have to say. Because Pedro Pascal sucks. Another fan, don't ever disrespect Eddie like that. Pedro sucks. So clearly I'm not seeing Eddie La Raza Guerrero fans. Orale cabrón, I love it. Going for this. I mean, this is just a fan cast. Someone did a poster. Danny Trejo. Let me tell you something right now. Anything Danny Trejo is, that's your DVD box cover right there. That's gonna get you instant traction. But no, I think Danny is a little too viejo at this point. We love Danny. I'm just saying. But because there ain't a Latino actor that has or could grow Eddie's back muscles. I mean, it's not that hard to bulk up. But a lot of people here are saying, nah. Some people are praying this into existence because they want an Eddie Guerrero story. But what do you guys think? What do you get? Do you want an Eddie story? And who would you cast? So, everyone's always got an opinion, man. I want to remind you guys, I hope you guys are doing well, that thelatinoslant.com is 100% free for anyone to go and check out. We have the latest movie reviews, Project Hail Mary, Durandar, the Revenge film review out right now. And I just love what our writers are doing on the website. So a great way for you to support us is go and read our articles. And if you want, join the newsletter. That would be fantastic over there at thelatinoslant.com. Okay, coming up right now, we got this little Masters of the Universe official trailer drops tomorrow, but this is when you stumble upon the Power Sword. So this is kind of a little vignette with one of our favorites, Camila Mendes playing Tila and Gazeltine playing He-Man. This is them doing this little bit. Let's check this out.
Yeah, so I ate this really done. Hey guys, you're gonna want to prepare for tomorrow.
That's right, because the new Master of the Universe trailer is dropping.
Don't
Oh,
miss
it's
it.
English.
Okay, thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Okay. Cute. Cute. Listen, I think if this movie's gonna be a success, then that's the right way to market in regards to endearing yourself to this audience. And people want to know the actors behind these people that they're playing. So this is a good little bit with Nick Gazeltine, who I didn't know was British, or with that accent. No surprise there. And Camila Mendes, Brazilian American actress, been a lot of stuff, Riverdale, all that stuff. Very cute. You get to see the little personalities. They're letting you guys know, hey, get ready for the trailer. Tom Connors Jr. of Midnight's Edge, huge Masters of the Universe, doesn't think this is going to do well, and thinks that same weekend Scary Movie is actually going to do better than Masters of the Universe. I don't know. I think internationally it is going to kick a lot of butt, and the more you get to show off your good-looking cast members, the better, because these are good-looking people, right? And you want that as your leads. It's funny to see Gazeltine kind of skinnier now that he's not fully swole as he was during the filming of this of the movie, right? And they are trying to, because it looks like that's sort of a little heavier than Camila is used to. But you see his look here. It's like they're getting ready for the trailer, whatever. It's a little bit, but then you see what a yoked out. Look at that. So he got serious for the role, man. I always give actors credit for that. But that's him in the movie, and then you got him, all comparatively flaco, skinny in normal life there. Another argument that people are having is that the Adam in He-Man, who's on Earth at the storyline at the beginning of the story, he looks too much like He-Man. Why didn't they just film a skinny guy, kind of like Captain America, and then you got the bulk guy? This is interesting because I'm thinking, why didn't they just film right away, as soon as they can, regular looking Nick Gazeltine here, and then go away for 3-4 months, come back swole? Because clearly he's not in the movie. He's just swole. And as Adam, he's like got this like tight ass shirt, and you can tell he's just huge. So, seeing this, I'm just like, I think someone might have missed something there. I'm gonna say this though. Depending on production schedules and how you shoot, pulling off something that, like I just said, that's almost impossible to start a production and you're filming, millions are on the table every day. So let's say you film all the skinny stuff in order. Then you tell the guy to go away for 3-4 months and get swole. What are you doing for 3-4 months on a movie like Masters of the Universe? I would say you could get away with a month, maybe not even that much, of filming stuff that he's not in, but you need your lead. You need your lead. So when you stop production, like pause it, you're losing millions. It's a losing making thing. So I have that idea that I give to you, and yet, listen, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, what if? But what do you guys think? We all, what we do know is Camila Mendes is a total babe. What a cutie, man. What a cutie. All right. Well, I want to remind you guys that on our YouTube channel, we've been having some great growth with the channel. But I want to remind you guys to make sure that you are indeed subscribed to our channel. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you are, for as little as $2.99 a month, guys, become a member of the channel. We just had a membership live stream where people came on and they got to hang out. We got to talk all kinds of stuff in regards to pop culture. So for as little as $2.99, you get to support the channel. You get your merchandise discount items. You get to come on panels, and you get, depending on the level, you get random swag sent to you. And our members are really, really happy with what we do for them. So consider becoming a member for as little as $2.99. If you were a member, consider renewing or gifting one away, all that good stuff. Cool. We got it. All right, let's move on. This is kind of interesting because it kind of has to do with the whole idea of what it takes, just how many mountains, let's just say that have to be moved just to produce a film. We're not even saying successful. And when you do produce a movie, what happens when your stars get injured? I mean, we talked about halting production, which unfortunately is the story for Tomb Raider. Amazon's Tomb Raider series pauses production after Sophie Turner injured on set. Turner aggravated a pre-existing back injury with production potentially delayed from anywhere from a month to as long as 6 months. What? Whoa. Okay, let's break this down. First of all, in all seriousness, I wish Sophie Turner healing mercies right away. A back is so difficult to return from, to get injured from, and then have a nagging back injury depending on what was the previous injury. Professional baseball players that get a back injury, they're gone for months. And if you're not an athlete and not used to doing action-based stuff, and I'm not saying that Sophie is, it can be pretty devastating. Now, we saw the footage of her performing on the set, moving around, shooting guns and all that stuff. I was not too happy with the blocking. I didn't like the physicalness. I just wasn't buying it. However, that has nothing to do with someone being injured. You don't want to wish that on anybody. Here's a couple of insights on someone, myself, that teaches martial arts, that practices yoga every day. This is not minor. They first reported this as a minor injury, and now the word is out. This is not minor. This is 1 to 6 months. Okay. Best case scenario is that she's back in a month, but I would say she's going to be very limited in her movement. So they're going to have to double up on the stunt doubles, body replacements, because Lara Croft, you can't go short on the physicalness of what she has to do in that character. This is a really unfortunate situation. And I do feel for Sophie Turner, because I know she was probably putting in 100%, wanted to show us something different, but also show that she can do the physicalness. This is kind of a disaster. And we just talked about someone going away and adding bulk for a few months, production-wise. Production-wise, they're saying that production has been, delayed for a month to as long as 6 months. Guys, that is a major blow to Amazon, and you're losing millions. I think, listen, they can eat that up. It is a TV series, so there is a lot that they can do besides her stuff. But if this is major, I'm going to say it right now, March 30th. Don't be surprised in a 2 to 3 month span. If she is not recovered how they want, she's going to have to be recast. She's going to have to be recast. Nothing on the actor themselves. This is a physical role. This is an action physical role. And you need that star to be able to pull certain things off. Now, this is that's huge, because when we first heard news, this was a minor injury. This is not minor now. And you kind of have to say that at first to really kind of like don't feed into the craziness until she's really checked out. But the fact that it's a back injury, because I was thinking a minor injury is like you rolled an ankle, you sprained a foot, you sprained a finger. There's no breaks, there's no fractures. That's minor. Anything above a fracture, obviously broken, you're done for months. You're back, and it's pre-existing. That is unfortunate for Sophie Turner. Again, we wish her well. I probably would have done some due diligence if I'm the producer and I heard she has a back injury from before, because you need that actor, that lead actor. Again, like I said, you got to pull off running, stopping, fight movements, agility, lateral movements, gun work, like Ana de Armas did. And Ana de Armas in Ballerina, from what she would said, is that there wasn't a day she wasn't in pain. She wasn't injured. Small injuries, but she filmed. That's part of the thing. So obviously, Ana de Armas could have handled that, and she didn't get a major injury, or she didn't have, and she didn't have a major back injury pre-existing. So if the good people who are doing this, again, 1 to 6 months, man, that is a real bad turn for Sophie Turner, no pun intended. But if I'm an executive producer, and let's say I have to recast. You need to look for a female lead that is physical enough, that has proven themselves, like Ana de Armas in Ballerina, Scarlett Johansson, that can pull this off. Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate. What do you guys think? Let me know. Who you guys? Again, this is not minor anymore. That is a huge, unfortunate injury and a delay of production. And every day, and I'll just say this one more time. Once you are in green light mode in your pre-production, and then you have your shooting schedule set, millions are being spent every day. If you put a delay or a pause, those millions are being spent every day still. You don't just stop. It costs more money to stop, but they don't have a choice here. And this is going to be interesting to see how it develops, because this is not over yet. Okay, everyone's talking about Project Hail Mary, and the author of Project Hail Mary was recently on Andy Weir was recently on The Critical Drinker, where he had some choice words for Paramount's handling of Star Wars. And it got a lot of backfire. Since then, Andy Weir did apologize to Alex Kurtzman. Right? Here's the Andy Weir apology really quickly. Open letter to Kurtzman. He put it on Facebook. And he's, there's a couple of things here, right? I'm posting to apologize about stuff I said on the Drinkers podcast. I feel my quotes were taken out of context. I was trying to be funny. I'm a blunt person, always have been. Anyways, if you want to talk about it in real time, or even if it's just to rip me a new one, I'm happy to hop on the phone or on a Zoom. Okay? So that's one thing. But author Winslow, who did Crime 101, was one of the first people to clap back at these comments initially. And he says, congrats on the success of Project Hail Mary and The Martian. I'm a real fan, but when you have your moment, don't use it to crap on other writers' work. Okay. Context. Who's Winslow? Winslow was the author of Crime 101, which I really liked. I saw the movie, but I'm not going to lie. It didn't do well in the box office. It's making some money, but it was not the big hit they wanted it to be. A huge cast. Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, etc., etc. So for lack of better words, it was a box office flop. So that's Crime 101, which I do recommend. Okay? I do recommend. But it's made 71 million worldwide. And I believe the budget is, let me get that budget for 90 million. Okay? So as of right now, it is losing money for its studio. Okay, what's done is done. Project Hail Mary is the biggest hit of 2026 so far. And it's in the zeitgeist, which is the envy of a lot of Hollywood creators, is that you create something so special, it's in the zeitgeist. Andy Weir has done that. Winslow has not. Kurtzman has not. And that is where it rubbed them wrong, is that this guy who's kicking so much butt, Andy Weir, right now, he said something not nice. It wasn't nice what you said. And their feelings are hurt. But also, too, it's that competitive ego, that cutthroat ego, where it's like, oh, yeah, you think you're the number one shit? Well, think again. And now, whatever happened behind the scenes, Andy Weir went on and apologized on Facebook. They had nothing to be sorry for. He had nothing. He was just being honest. He was just being honest. And he's a fan, right? He's a fan of Star Trek. He's a fan. And he's coming from a very passionate, real place. Those are the type of people you want to be telling stories, not people in creative positions that don't have the creative guts and vision. So, and then for Winslow to chime in, you guys are defending each other in I will say this. The more of an outsider you are and successful in Hollywood, they hate that. They can't control you. They hate that you have an audience, that you're any type of success. And they want to be able to control every angle of the narrative, including who you give interviews to, where, when, what is there to say, what you can't say. Trust me. Trust me. And so you're going to have clowns like Winslow coming out of the woodwork, defending, oh, Kurtzman's a visionary. You should be nice. It's like, no, you don't have to be. He's just being honest. He just said, listen, man, what they've been putting out lately has been crap. And I pitched them and they said no. So fuck them. That's it. That's it. But if you create this environment where everything's nice, everything's positive, and then even with your failures, then that's like terrible entertainment. But at least, hey, you had your representation in there. Hey, you got to tell an important message. And you had people of color. I don't know what, right? The storytelling gets lost. So you look at Project Hail Mary, which if you go down the checklist, it's pretty diverse. Women are in it. A Latino co-directed it. You had some wonderful organic diversity in the storytelling. Everyone is talking about it. It is what everyone wants to see. And that is Hollywood gold, which these guys just have not been able to put out. And so they see this kind of insider, kind of one of our own, but he's an outsider. I mean, speaking his mind. Oh no, you can't have none of that. So it doesn't become about the success of Project Hail Mary. It becomes about, putting this guy in his place. And unfortunately, he put him in his place where he had to apologize. No reason to apologize. So, but that's just Hollywooding. It is, man. It is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let me know what you guys think. All right, back here on the channel, on the Latino Slant. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's now continue our stories that we got for you. Oh, this is kind of interesting. And there's kind of a theme today of production, right? What it takes, what it takes to put on a movie, to produce it, stuff that's filmed, how you market it, what is a success and what's not. We hadn't seen this footage, but here in Madam Web 2024, after researching Julia Carpenter in the comics, Sydney Sweeney noticed she was often depicted upside down like a balletic aerialist and begged the team to let her drop from the ceiling to capture that look. Okay. So this is already this is probably I've never seen this before, but let's Let's check it out.
Thinking. I'm actually Spiderwoman. This is the coolest thing. When we first introduced Julia as Spiderwoman, I wanted her to drop into frame like one of the iconic comic book drawings, upside down, and then she spun. So I worked a lot of times on the wires, learning how to move more physically like an aerialist would.
We had them all come in and train together with their stunt doubles multiple times a week for hours.
I have a lot of photos and it's really funny of me just hanging upside down and just waiting for action. And I'm like, oh my God, my close-up, I'm gonna look so ridiculous because the blood's gonna be all in my head. Thinking.
So this is great. This is great because you're getting the insight into what an actor has to go through. But also, too, we talked about this earlier. The physical demands of a role. And clearly, Sydney is an athletic actor. She was a martial artist, boxer, in her teens. So she knows what it takes. And that is just an added plus when you're casting these athletic superhero action roles. So she worked so hard just to do this shot, which probably we saw maybe for a second, but she's up there for hours. She studied, she worked it out, and so did her stunt double. That's great, man. That's great.
Times on the wires, learning how to move more physically like an aerialist would.
In fact, I think the biggest complaint, I mean, the movie was pretty bad, but the other Spider-Women in this weren't even shown in their comic book outfits, superhero outfits, barely until the very, very end. And that was a big draw. They wanted to see these women in their outfits.
We had them all come in and train together with their stunt doubles multiple times a week for hours.
I have a lot of photos and it's really funny of me just hanging upside down and just waiting for action. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's great. Believe that's Isabella Merced as the other. I'm not sure that that's her. Is that Sydney? That's Sydney with the reddish hair. That's still Sydney. I think that's Isabella. Yeah. Yeah, that's Isabella. It's even a different costume though. It's all black and white, black and silver. This is great, man.
I'm actually.
This is fantastic. And again, it gives us insight into all the heavy lifting of what it takes to pull off this work. And listen, you know, anything could happen, man. You have to be so safe and trusting with the wire works, with the production team, with the crew, all these people. And then you get an injury like Sophie Turner, which is unfortunate, but that does happen on set. That does happen on set. Yeah, good for Sydney, man. I only saw that movie once. Once was enough. But I remember one of the main criticisms was like, you know, we didn't get, you know, enough of the ladies in action as their superhero, you know, alter egos. And I totally get it, man. That's what you you know, signed up for. That's what you paid your ticket for. So it was a pretty bad film, but I think a lot of people would have like, well, at least you got to see them in action, looking sexy and beating up bad people. Beat them up. Let's beat them up. I believe we got one item, if not a couple more items left. Let me just double check. We got two more items left. Okay. So as you guys know, we have been covering world cinema from Asia to India to Latin America. We do that all the time. And right now, the big hit is Durandar, The Revenge. But there is another movie that people are getting excited about. And I know the teaser is set to come out April 2nd, to the movie Ramayana. And up until this point, we've only gotten a teaser, which we reacted to. But here you have it's official, and it's going to be something that the Indian cinema has never witnessed before. Namit Malhotra has confirmed that there will be an official release of Ranbir Kapoor as Rama on the 2nd of April, 2026. All right. So what does this mean? It means that you're going to get a real trailer where you're going to get to see the actor, what's his name? Ranbir Kapoor. Let me make sure I'm spelling his name right. Ranbir Kapoor as Rama, one of the Indian huge Hindi deities, if I believe, in the trailer. My complaint on the teaser was that it was just words and some, CGI imagery. It's like, enough. You don't need to do 3 minutes of this. Maybe a minute, but it's just, kind of redundant. That was my main complaint. But now we're going to get to see Ranbir act as Rama. And that is going to be a big deal. We're going to see just what this movie, we're going to get a look and feel to Ramayana, which doesn't come out until November. It also stars Yash and Ravi Dubey and Sunny Deol. But look, this is all on Ranbir Kapoor, Ramayana. Okay. I haven't seen a lot of his work. I did like him in a movie called Animal, and I've seen him in other stuff. He is a fantastic dancer, but I feel that Indian cinema from the South and Malayalam has such a positive influence on Bollywood now that Bollywood has moved away from its formula. And that formula is less generic song and dance that really don't really have to do with the linear storyline. You're seeing that less and less, thank God. And Durandar really has broken that mold because it is a Bollywood film with Bollywood dollars, but you would never think that. So can Ramayana lean into that? Because this is a historical fantasy epic tale they're going to tell. So we'll see. But yeah, look for us to definitely react to the trailer. But right now, that was just a little opinion piece. I think Ranbir is totally capable. Totally capable. All right, guys, let's go to our final topic for today. And we're going to come to California, where the lowrider culture is supreme here. California bill would create lowrider license plates. What is the story, Lil? Let's get to it.
A state bill is now introduced to create specialty lowrider license plates.
Yeah, this celebrates the state's car culture while also raising money for arts and community programs. Assembly Bill 2541 would require the California DMV to establish a lowrider license plate program. If approved, the plates would feature designs reflecting lowrider culture and heritage. Drivers who choose the specialty plate would pay an additional fee on top of standard vehicle registration costs. Revenue from the program would go toward the newly created Lowrider Arts and Culture Fund. And right now on KCRA.com and on Very Local, you can watch our documentary, Lowrider Legacy. You can learn more about the history of lowriding culture in California and its cultural significance here in our state.
Tonight, a state.
Okay, so a couple things here. The lowrider culture is synonymous now with the Southwest of America, even Midwest with Chicago, going down to Texas, New Mexico, and of course California. I will also say this: the lowrider Chicano culture of fashion and music or revolving around that is global. It's one of the biggest exports to Asia that a lot of Asians really love to emulate the cars, the culture, the tattoos, the fashion. So here, to have the ability to have a lowrider art license plate, I think that's very cool. I think that's very cool. If they did one of the Los Angeles Dodgers, like lowrider paint style, I'm in it. I'm in it. You know, here's a couple other things I want to say. Let's talk about the bill for a second. If the revenue is indeed raised, it needs to go into that fund and immediately put into arts for the youth. There's been a lot of fraud lately, state and local, of other well-meaning programs where it says it's going to get to the youth, to the homeless, etc., etc. I'm not here to get on any political stand, guys. But I do want to say is that the youth desperately need positive things to do. And if it means being part of art programs, musical instrument programs, or even learning how to be a mechanic, or even do paint artwork on cars, I'm 100% for that. I am 100% for that because it's a huge industry. It's a huge industry. So that's the thing about the bill, which I do support. I would support that. One final thing on the lowrider Chicano culture. There's a lot of fighting in other subcultures as is this a legitimate culture? Is this really art? As soon as you hear that rhetoric, you know someone is doing something right. You know somebody resisted and rebelled against standard norms of art, of culture, of fashion, and did it on their own. That was the whole beginnings of the lowrider, is changing the car to your own specifications and likes, because mechanic shops didn't know what you're talking about. You're speaking another language. And that was a Mexican-American phenomenon. Growing that into the zoot suits from the 40s, and then with this artwork, man, Chicano artwork just exploded in the 70s. And I think it's a real wonderful thing. So it almost doesn't matter now. It really doesn't matter if you think this is not art, this is not culture. In fact, the Chicanos, the cholos that are the artisans behind this, artisans, 100%, they don't give a shit what you think. They don't give a shit what I think. They just live by their own ritmo, their own rhythm, their own beat, and they produce art. And I think it's absolutely wonderful. So it's kind of like that old argument, is hip hop or rap real music? If you're even asking that, then you're establishment thinking. You're raging for the machine. I see a lot of people raging for the machines with certain movies that come out, certain music, certain parts of culture. I'm like, okay. But what I do know is that every generation, someone has popped out and created something so different that people's heads turns and it's like that. Then the establishment with their noses up knew. I often use the story of jazz, American jazz. Well, there's only one jazz as far as the originators of jazz, which was, I would say, the turn of the century, of the 20th century, with ragtime and syncopated beats, where the Louisiana and the Delta blues created modern time, that you had these geniuses come out of that music art form, that an American original, from Duke Ellington to Coleman Hawkins to Thelonious Monk to even going back to some of the New Orleans jazz artists. These guys were the Beethovens of their time, but the American establishment of music wouldn't even consider that music. But they were always looking for the American equivalent of a Mozart. Okay, so think of that such scenario with lowrider art and culture. Oh my God, it's 100% American. You'll see it everywhere else, but it's American, and it's here to stay. And I think this is really wonderful in regards to this bill being passed, and hopefully really getting to the kids that need it, and anything that is a positive out of a negative in regards to a lifestyle, that a culture that it was once deemed, so criminal, which it's not. You always have your bad apples everywhere. That, the car. Oh, my R2D2 fell. The car culture, the fashion, the music, that's here to stay, man. It's here to stay. And it's also great to see something just so, what's the word I'm looking for? We've gotten so, what's the word I'm looking for? So plain. There's a lot of plain entertainment out there, right? That this is the real deal, and I love it. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys for this special edition of the Latino Slant, the Brown Side. Make sure you are subscribed, all that good jazz, and check out our websites and our latest here on our YouTube channel. Wherever you're at, keep that slant fuerte. Gracias.
Órale. Órale. Órale.